Pressure from the U.S. and the threat posed by Russia have led European nations to increase their defense spending. Non-U.S. members of NATO have been beefing up their military since Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine in 2022. You see some of the numbers there. An Emirati defense firm called the Edge Group is capitalizing by launching a new company in France. It's putting an emphasis on innovation, which has been so crucial in Ukraine's fight against Russia. Hamad Al Marar is the managing director of CEO of the Edge company. He joins me now from Paris, and it is good to see you as we try and parse exactly what this defense architecture will look like in Europe and beyond. I want to go, though, to what has happened in the UAE. Its defense posture has also been an opportunity for your company to be a defense exporter. But, let us in here. What have the last few months, and specifically the conflict with Iran, what has it taught you and your company over the last few months?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me. Of course, war is never a good thing. But the reality of the case is we always have to be ready. Conflicts do happen. And these last months have proven that our armed forces was more than ready to repel the harm that we saw and the aggression that we saw from Iran. Of course, as a defense technology developer, a provider to the UAE armed forces, we have played a role in really providing them with solutions that were homegrown to push back over 80% of those attacks that the UAE has faced over the last few months.
I don't have to remind you, 80% is not 100%. And as a father with children in the region, I'm sure this concerns you. Can you speak specifically to asymmetric warfare, right? And what we've been seeing for months now. Your shadow fleet of strike drones, the interception rate is impressive, but what are you working on right now that would get you closer to the 100%? And can you design and build that in a rapid, cost-effective way? Because I don't have to remind you, normally state-sponsored in the past has meant by the state. This is definitely more of a partnership.
Very true, Paula. When we're referring to a homegrown interception over 80%, we have way above 95% with our allies and friends. So I just wanted to make sure that people don't see it as we are here alone. We have been supported by many countries to repel this harm and to push back this aggression. So we are way above 95% when it comes to the interceptions and downing many of those drones. But I just wanted to emphasize that over 80% was done by a homegrown technology.
When you say homegrown technology, though, what specifically has worked here? What has been effective? And does a lot of it apply to your system of these strike drones, or what they call the loitering, loitering munitions as well, that have a layered effect with all the help you get from allies as well?
Yeah. Yes. We have proudly geofenced the UAE with jammers, interception, optics, soft kills mechanisms that were able to bring down many of the drones. In terms of the ballistic interceptions, of course, we have relied on many of the joint programs that we have with other countries, including South Korea, including the US, and those have played effectively.
So you are in France. Your expansion is, you hope, into Europe. What is your message to Europe at this point in time in terms of what can be done? You know that cost has been a huge issue, but also speed of things like procurement. At this point, what do you hope to lend to Europe in terms of what you learned from the UAE?
Our technology is making it to the export market. Currently, over 70% of our revenues yearly are coming from exports. Now, exports is not an entitlement. You have to really work on. So quality is met, and being cost effective and being able to deliver was the statement made by Edge. Nevertheless, now when we see our solutions coming in a very short time, I think we have shifted the paradigm here. We have disrupted many of the technologies, and because we're not working from legacies, there are really clean sheets that we work from. And to emphasize on this, I mean, today Edge Group do employ over 19,000 employees, and we have them coming from over 90 countries, irrespective of religion, skill, color, country. Those are school of thoughts and school that we learn from. And technology has been on the leap, at least in the UAE. And this is not the norm of such an industry. So we have been able to strike a model that would yield us fast delivery of solutions, quite innovative, that I think, and we do see that Europe is quite interested in.
We do see that they are taking notice, and take your point that it is a clean slate. Hamad Al Marar of the Edge Company will continue to keep track of the developments. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Paula. Thank you.